Hey guys, welcome back. Jared at 3Cs. Midday here at the shop, so a lot of background noise out there. I apologize for that. Customers and folks in the showroom, it's always a good thing. But CFMOTO just released the 2026 off-road vehicles and on-road, the motorcycle stuff. We're going to do some product guides on the off-road stuff. So there's going to be three of these. There's going to be an ATV, a UTV, and then a sport UTV. So 3 videos in a row. If you want to check the next one, this one's going to be about the ATVs, the CForce models. Of course, last year we were actually in Minnesota. We were riding these, which is pretty cool. This year there is no dealer meeting. It's just a bunch of emails. So I got a PDF right here on the computer, and I'm going to share this with you guys. So what I'm looking at, I'm going to put right up on the screen here. So it's a product guide, and like I said, this is all about the CForce models. The news and notes is there's really not a lot of big changes, but let's still go down through here. I'll tell you what I think or what I know about each one of these. And any real pictures that I show you are going to be what's in the showroom, because I don't have 26s here. But if I do talk about something specific, I might go out there, take a picture, and include it into the video. So right off the bat, it's the CForce 1000 Overland. This is it's actually been a good seller, because if you go to like add all these features to what, like say you want to buy 1000 and add the bumpers and add the thicker skid plate and the beadlock wheels and the storage stuff, it's a really good value. So CFMOTO comes in at $11,799, and this is all current pricing as of this month, end of August here for 2025. I don't know what pricing will do. I don't know if it's going to change mid-year, so I'm going to get that out of the way now. So if you're watching this video, any of these prices change, it just happens. That's retail. So currently, $11,799, which is not an increase from the 2025 model year, so it's really cool. I think I have the green one out in the showroom, which is what this first slide is showing us here. And it's just been a great model. So like I mentioned, it comes with rack extenders, front rear bumpers, it's like a 4-inch LED light bar, windshield, hand warmers, seat warmer, rear storage, rear bumper, thicker skid plate, beadlock wheels. It's just this ultimate ATV. And it comes with this storage bin in the back. So like behind the driver, it flips up, and I'm going to include a picture here of that because there's no slide here showing this, but you can take that off and put a 2-up seat on this. So keep that in mind. It's got the raised footing. It's identical to the 1000 Touring chassis. So even with those storage bins on there, we can click that 2-up seat in there. So we do sell a lot of those 2-up seats when we sell this 1000 Overland. So you're not restricted to it being a single-seater. You can turn it back into a Touring. Here is the second page of the slide for that one, and it's just a spec sheet. So I'm only going to pause here for a second. It is the same 2 colors as last year. They're calling it Desert Tan and then the Forest Green, just like last year. Sorry about that. 27-inch tires, 14-inch aluminum wheels, pretty cool stuff. 3 drive modes. We should talk about that. They are extremely different. I'm gonna mess this up. It's work, normal, and sport. I'm gonna call them those 3. And sport mode is way more aggressive, and work mode is way toned down. So you do notice a huge difference in the drive modes. The next model down. This is the CForce 1000 Touring. We do a lot of the 1000 Tourings. I think we do more 1000 Tourings than the 800 Touring. One of the big reasons is the shock difference. So the 1000 Touring gets adjustable clicker shocks. So if you are going to go do these all-day trail rides, having those adjustable shocks makes such a difference. It's a really nice feature. Again, it's a Touring, power steering, winch, LED lights, hand guards, aluminum wheels. This does have that new Omni Drive CVT. This was new last year. And down on the right hand corner of this slide, you see it says new control and thumb assemblies. I apologize, those are just like sketches. I don't know how much different they are from last year. Those look like the same ones as last year. So I don't really know what they're doing there. When we get 26s in, we'll do walk arounds like we always do of each model. So we'll do that when we get there. We're going to go to the Touring spec sheet page here. It looks like 3 colors. Granite Ridge is all new. We've always had a Nebula Black, and then the camo is a different name this year. I'm going to butcher that, Kantani camo. It used to be True Timber camo, so it's a whole new camo package this year. The 1000s do have the 3,500 pound winch, which is cool. A little bit more than like the 600s and the 500s. The same 3 drive modes that you find on the decked out, what was that thing, the Overland. So it's got the different drive modes. And then we're going to jump down to the 800 touring. So here's its page. 70 horsepower on the 800 versus 84 on the 1000. So a little bit of a power difference. I'm not sure I'm selling the 1000 because of the power difference. I'm just selling it because of the shock package. Typically, if you're an all-day trail rider, a little bit better shocks than the 1000. So cool thing with this touring is it did not change in price. 94, maybe $100. Let me check. So last year was 93. Yeah, so went up $100. They did a good job keeping that price almost identical to last year. So no real change there for the customers. All of these models we talked about so far in this new chassis have four different home screens. There should be a white one too. I think there's 4 home screens that you guys get to choose from. Pretty cool. It changes the whole look of that display. And again, when these come in, we'll do walk around videos. And if you're curious more about those displays, you can look back at the 25 model preview videos that I did, and you'll see those screen changes. I highlight those. And down here in the bottom of this PDF, it shows new air filter location, but I don't think that's true. That was last year's thing. And I did do like a really quick service video on this new chassis. Maybe I'll put the JPEG in here to go find that video on our channel too. So if you want to know where all the service stuff is, like where the battery, air filter, oil, all that stuff, right in that video. I did it really quick and easy. Here is the spec page for those 800s. Again, gray, black, and then this camo. So black's been around, but 2 new other colors. And you guys can read the spec sheets. Holds a good amount of gas, almost 7 gallons. 26-inch tires in this one as well. Bosch EFI, which is always cool to see. And let's scroll down to the 600 and 600 Touring. Now, the biggest thing I can tell you here is the price difference. So we went from, my notes are under my microphone, $73.99 to $77.99 on the 600 single-seater. And the Touring went up $900. We went from $78.99 to $87.99. So quite a jump there. I still think the CFMOTO Touring is the cheapest one on the market, and I don't mean to play the price game. We did that with CFMOTO at the beginning. Now we don't have to do the price game anymore. It's all quality, but it's still a lot cheaper than a Polaris or a Can-Am, but it did go up in price. So other than that, I don't have like a technical. Back in 2023, CFMOTO gave us a technical. It was just like this, like a PDF, but it was all technical stuff. They didn't give us anything this year. I already searched it. There was nothing there for me to tell you guys the nuts and bolts behind the scenes that's different. But do very well with the 600s because most people come in and they're looking. We can start to compare the 500 here. The 600 and the 500 get compared a lot. But the Touring, that's by far the cheapest Touring in the market. We do really well with it. Power steering, winch, aluminum wheels, good tires, 2-up seat, comfortable 2-up seat. Just a really good value in a Touring model. And then the CForce 600, we can scroll down to the spec page here, and you guys can see the colors, like, twilight blue, nebula black, and then the camo. So those first 2 colors are the same as last year. Remember those names. But the camo, again, is the new camo. Let's take a second to compare the 600 versus the 500, because that's going to be a pretty big talking point in your showroom, or when you're coming into our showroom. This year the price difference is a little bit more. It looks like it's going to be $1,300. So they did not change the price on the 500. Really cool. And so $1,300. What are we getting between a 6 and a 5? So the 600 horsepower is quite a bit higher. It's 44 horsepower on a 600, and the 500 is 34. So it's a pretty big horsepower difference. The tire size is different. So on a 600 you get 26-inch tires. The 500 you get 25-inch tires. The towing capacity is higher on a 600, so just a bunch of different little things that add up to a bigger value when you're jumping to the 6. Also, next to this 500 here on this PDF is the 400 went down in price. You never see this. It's crazy. They went from $53.99 down to $49.99. It's insane. To stop right here and say, hey, we got brand new ATVs in the showroom for $49.99 that are fuel injected with 4-wheel drive. It's incredible. So I don't know how you go on the used market and you're looking for like a beginner ATV. And you're like, I'll buy that used one for $3,500. How do you spend that when you can come in and buy a brand new one for $49.99? At our dealership, we only charge freight and sales tax. There's no other shop fees. There was, I was looking for a sheet. a customer came in the other day from another dealer, and there was all these extra lines, and we were shocked. It was added up to $3,000 in fees. I felt so bad. They wanted to trade it in, and I was like, oh my gosh. So please call us and get like a true out the door price. Big super centers tell you all these, like, they'll probably say $39.99, but by the end of the day, you're paying way more. So just be careful. So the 400 is a great value. Now the 400 is not painted; it's an in mold, so it's just like injected mold. That's the color. Where the 500s and up are all actually painted. So it's a little bit of a difference there. And let's compare the 400 to the 500. And it's a $1,500 price difference now. So the 400s in years past have been a 24-inch tire, and I don't see it here anywhere. Yes. So I'm now down to the spec sheet. It shows 24-inch tires on the 400, 25-inch tires on the 500, and the 500 gets the power steering, it gets the winch, it gets the LED lights, it gets a bigger display, it gets the hand guards, and bigger tires. So there's a lot between the 4 and the 5. But if you just want an ATV to go bomb around your property, the 400s are awesome. 1-year warranty, fuel injection, these things run forever. Just hit the button, go ride. So that is a rundown of this 2026 CForce models. Keep an eye on the channel as they start to ship. We start to get these things in. We'll do our walk-arounds, our first test drives. So thank you guys for watching. If you're looking for the U-Force and the Z-Force, the next video on the channel is going to be those. So stay tuned. See you soon.